Hello, I'm Amma Ablode. This is my vlog, Amma Says. Thank you for watching. Today I'd like to share some of the lessons I have learned about love, relationship, and all of that. I want to share some of the lessons with you. I call it lessons because I believe you are better off learning from people's lessons than their experiences. Let me explain why. Learning from people's experiences means that your chances of making the same mistakes they made is really high, But when you learn from people's lessons, that's after they've experienced it, they've sat back, assessed themselves, and they've learned from their experiences. When you learn from that, you're better off and you have higher chances of escaping the mistakes they made. So I want to share my lessons with you. After I've experienced these things, I've sat down, I have assessed it, and these are the lessons I've learned so far. These lessons are based on my own experience and that of friends, loved ones, and even total strangers that I get to speak to. I'm a good conversationalist, so I listen to people talk as well. So these are my lessons. Number one, I would say for every relationship that you leave, when you leave that relationship, do an assessment of what went wrong before you move on to the next one. Most times we want to, especially in this time, we like to go with, rebounds in order to get over the last person we're with. Because it's commonly said that when you want to get over a man, you get under another person. I don't ascribe to that. I don't think rebound is a thing you should do. But if you really need a rebound, well, do a rebound while still assessing what went wrong with the last one. And be certain that this is just to catch fun and to get over somebody else. Least you end up catching feelings with your rebound, and now you expect more than they can give you. Then you get hurt again. And this time around, when you are hurt, that broken heart is times 2. You know why? Because you've not healed from the relationship you're trying to get over, and now you're being disappointed by your rebound too, so you are suffering 2 broken hearts at the same time. If you decide to jump onto the next rebound too, then you see, do you get the cycle I'm trying to show you here? And that's it. You never get to heal, and these will be compounded and it will stick within your soul. You keep making the same mistakes that you're making that is making you fail at your relationships. So for every relationship, sit back, assess it, ask yourself, how did you get into that relationship? What went wrong? Tell yourself the truth when you are assessing. We are always afraid of telling ourselves the truth. You're probably saying, no, I am not, but trust me, you are. Every human being, we are scared of ourselves. This is what makes me say that God is within us and not outside, because we don't want to tell ourselves, that's the God in us, we don't want to tell that God the truth. But our soul will not harm us like somebody else will. Yet we are easier to tell somebody else something than tell ourselves the truth. And even when telling other people, do we really say the whole truth? No. Well, back to the assessment. Please be sure to assess yourself and the relationship you left or just left you before you move on to the next one. It would be of good help to you and your future expectations in relationships. Number 2 on my lesson list is there is an unwritten rule. So please know about this unwritten rule before you move into a relationship. Now, this unwritten rule goes like this. For some people, you're probably going to say, oh, but everybody knows this. No, not everybody knows this. Not everyone, trust me. So this is the unwritten rule. When you meet somebody, just because they say they like you doesn't mean it's a relationship. Now, most of us like to go with I like you than saying I love you. So somebody telling you I like you doesn't mean you're their girlfriend or boyfriend. Now, going on a few dates doesn't mean you're dating. So there's a dating phase. That is when you are hanging out with somebody who's of interest or says you're of their interest and they want to get to know you. That's the dating phase. This phase, for a lot of naive people, let me speak for the ladies because I'm a lady. For most of us ladies in our naive state, when we're dating somebody, we tend to date one person throughout. I won't advise that anymore. Based on my experience, I'll tell you, when you are in the dating phase, date multiple people. Yes, go into multiple dating. Now, this dating phase shouldn't be intimate. I won't advise you to be intimate with people you're dating. Get to know them. Spend that time speaking, talking, ask the questions. Let them also ask questions. And for us ladies, we make that big mistake. We're always so terrified of asking the hard questions because you don't want to come off as desperate. You don't want to seem like you're putting him under pressure. Yet you have questions you want to ask him. So why do you want to hold back? Let's stop doing that. I have stopped doing that. When you meet a guy you like, ask him all the questions you want to ask him. Ask him, are you single? Are you married? When they say no, I mean, after you ask, are you single, still ask them, are you married? Because some married people will tell you, I forgot I was married. So you don't want that happening to you. So please ask them, are you married? When they say no, ask them, are you single? Then the answer should be yes, right? Does somebody think you're married to them? Are you married to somebody? Do you have kids? Are there any children who think you are their daddy or their mommy, you know, depending on how it works? Ask the questions in various ways so you can be certain that they are not lying to you. Ask them about the job they do, their role in that job. Ask them about their expectations, what they want from you, what is their intention about you. Ask all these questions. These are questions that women, we find so hard to ask, so we go with what the men ask us. Now I've come to realize that when it comes to the men, they never hold back asking us the hard questions. Like they throw it at us, in all directions, and we answer it. We answer it because we want to please him. We want him to like us. But we don't ask the hard questions because I don't want to get him startled. I don't want him to feel pressured. I want to take it easy with him. But he's not taking it easy with you. So we allow these men to eventually hurt us if that was their intention. You are lucky if you did that and he didn't hurt you. You are just lucky you met a good one. But if somebody wants to have fun with you and you allow that, they would have that fun with you, and then you would turn back and say, and he used me and he lied to me, and by then you still realize that what you even had with that person doesn't qualify to be called a relationship, because you guys were supposed to be only dating. Now back on track. So like I said, the unwritten rule is that we have the dating phase. That's when you're getting to know people. I would advise you to date multiple people because it's like an interview. When they pass, you shortlist them, and then you are now setting of who you want to take to the next stage. Then you can now talk of exclusivity. That is when you have a relationship with the person, where you go into labels. The labels being my boyfriend, my girlfriend. And when that phase of the relationship is more secured and now they want more, then the guy can say, I want to engage you, and unless of course you're a woman who wants to, you know, take the step to and also engage him, then now you become engaged and committed to getting married. And then you move from that stage to getting married. So this is the unwritten rule. Get it sorted out. Some people would say, but this is supposed to be known. No, I didn't know it at some point, and I know so many people who didn't know it and who still don't. Until this video, they didn't know that existed. So that's why it's an unwritten rule. My advice: multiple dates, and then shortlist, and now get yourself that boyfriend or girlfriend. But tell the people what stage they're in. Don't lead anybody on. Try not to do that. You know, tell them, we are dating and I'm seeing other people. That will actually even help them, you know, step up the game, because hey, if they really want you, they want you to notice them more. And be truthful to yourself. So that's for number 2, the unwritten rule. My third lesson is, it's okay to have a list. You know, it is very okay to have a requirement of what you want to see in your partner. Don't play sober or play modest because you don't want to be seen as vain or what. Like, look, if you don't know what you want, you would accept anything that is thrown to you. And for us women, for a long time, some men have tried to blackmail us, emotionally blackmail us, when we try to say, I have a list of things I'm looking for in a man. Nothing is wrong with that. It's okay to have a list. In fact, don't keep the list only in your mind. Take a pen and paper and write it down. The Bible even permits writing down your vision, what you want in life. The law of attraction permits that. You need to list what you're looking for. It serves as a guideline. It helps you find what you want. It helps you, because then you stop wasting your time when you meet somebody and like, you don't have the list, you go. Then again, having the list doesn't mean everything you get should be 100%. But like the common phrase goes, there's an 80-20 rule. You need to know your negotiables and non-negotiables, the things that you cannot do without, and the things that you are ready to, let slide. Bear all that in mind when you're making up your list and stick with it. Go and look for that. And don't forget, whatever you've written down on your list, the kind of man or woman you want, such people also want a kind of man or woman. So whilst you develop that list and requirements you are expecting from your potential partner, you need to know that you also have to better yourself, be in a better position to appeal to a man or woman of that caliber. It's as simple as that. So it's very okay to have a list. Go ahead and have a list. Make sure it is sincere. Make sure it's truthful. Don't make a list based on a movie you watch or somebody else's idea of what your ideal partner should be like. Ask yourself. Your soul will tell you the truth of the kind of partner you really want, and don't be afraid when that is revealed to you. Write it down and believe it, you will get it. Number 4 on my lesson list is define things. We are in an era where a lot of us do not define what we are when we're with somebody. Before you know it, you've had a drink or two and you've gone on a movie night in your respective homes or houses, and then that is where you start hanging out more. You don't hang out outside your room. It's just there, and then one person thinks this is my boyfriend or girlfriend, and then it keeps going, and then one catches feelings and it's like, well, these feelings are okay because this is my boyfriend or my girlfriend. But the other person is thinking, you are not my boyfriend or girlfriend, we're just having fun. Before you know it, you are in a friends with benefits situation that you think is a relationship. Now, the true thing about this is that, I don't know about men, but for women, you always know, but I think even men should know, you always know the exact situation you have with somebody. You know this doesn't qualify as a healthy relationship, you know, but you try to convince yourself that it is more than it is. Honey, if it is not that, do stop raising its value. You're just going to hurt yourself later. It's like you're avoiding getting hurt today, but the thing is, you will get hurt next week. If you don't get hurt today, you'll be hurt next week. So how about you get hurt right now by telling yourself the truth, because the two of you haven't defined what you have, so you're just going with the flow. The thing is that even without defining it, one party, which is the party who is not actually emotionally involved, knows what they are doing with you, but you are the one who is hoping that it is more than it is. They didn't ask you to be their girlfriend. Yes, they said, I like you, but they didn't say, we want exclusive with you. So why do you think it is more than that? If the person is your boyfriend or your girlfriend, how come you can't reach them as and when you need to? How come you get to see them only when they are horny or when you are horny? Like, ask yourself all these questions. How come they are not reliable? How come anytime you want to call them, you suffer anxiety because you are thinking, will he or she answer the call or not? Would they cut the call on me? Would they be nice? If you're sick, are they visiting you? Are you what? Look, if you're in a situation like that and you still want to keep it going, it has to be worth something. Okay, it has to be worth something. For example, if you guys are sexually active, I say this and people roll their eyes at me, but it's the truth. Everything should be beneficial. You can decide to keep the sex going because the sex is actually good, but do not expect anything more than that. Give them exactly what they are willing to give you. That is, if only you're okay accepting that. And go look for the other things outside. Just do that and you will be Okay, really? So to save yourself this heartache and having to redefine and structure things to suit your peculiar situation, how about you just start by defining things before you get intimate with a person? This is the best thing you can ever do for yourself. Sex will not make them like you any better or any less. Like, really, define it before you jump to the next stage with the person. Unless at the time of you getting intimate with a person, you really don't care what it is that's coming out of this, then that's fine. But by all means, if you want more out of a relationship with somebody, let them know that you want more, preferably before you get intimate with them. It is easier to get the truth then. Number 5 on my lesson list is broken hearts heal. Really, if your heart is broken and you're watching this, trust me, it will heal. You just need time. You need to accept your new reality and you will be fine. With time, you will heal. So broken hearts do heal. I think Whitney Houston has a song that says, where do broken hearts go? No, they don't go anywhere. They're still in your body. But the pain gets to go when you allow yourself to heal. So if your heart is broken, don't go ahead making more silly mistakes that would hurt you later. Don't bury the pain. Be truthful. Confront the pain. Accept the fact that you allowed that also happen. Yes, you allowed it, because most of the time we see the signs, the red flags are there, and then we excuse it continuously. Once you accept it, you experience the big pain at once and a lot of it at a go. Then you forgive yourself and you are likely to heal fast. Now, in healing, people try to seek closure. Some people say much ado about closure, like you really don't need closure. I think every human being needs closure for everything. You need closure when your heart is broken by a love interest. You need closure when you lose a business opportunity or a schooling, something. When you lose something, you need closure for all of these things. But most importantly, you need closure when you lose a loved one to death. But guess what? When somebody dies, you never get an actual closure. Like, the person dead will never come back to tell you, this is why I had to go when I did, and that I'm better off where I am, so it's okay. You don't get it. But how do you heal when somebody dies? You start to convince yourself they're in a better place. You tell yourself it had to happen and that someday you will meet again. This is how we get closure when a loved one dies. I'm comparing your broken heart's need for closure to that of death, because when somebody dies, that is when you are certain you can never get closure, because the person dead won't come back to help you heal with the pain. You have to do all that on your own. So why do we always chase after the men and women who break our heart because we love them specially? Why do we chase after them for closure? And we think until they give us the closure, we cannot heal. You can heal without hearing from them. But if you must hear from them because you think, well, when somebody dies, that you know they're dead, but this one, the person is alive, so he should be able to help me heal. What if they're not availing themselves? I think you have only 2 passes at trying to reach out to your ex to ask them to help you heal. When you try it the first time and they shut you down, it's normal for you to not want to accept that the first one is real. So you go a second time. When you go that second time and they still don't help you, let's say because 3 is one of my favorite numbers, you want to try it a 3rd time. After that, please give yourself reason why it didn't work out. Because most of the time we actually know why it didn't work out. Like, we know, but we start denying it, that this is not the reason why he left me. No, he cannot leave me because of that. But you know, ask yourself, if your heart is broken, please ask yourself right now, pause and ask yourself, why did he leave me? The answer is not outside. Close your eyes. Give yourself a minute of silence. You would get your answer. because the answer is within you, but you've been shutting it down. You don't want to accept it. But that is the truth, because they never wanted to be in, or because of that thing that happened. There are so many reasons, and you know the actual reason why. This was not meant to be. You kept adding more band-aids and all that to try and make it work, but it wasn't going to work. It was either now or later, and it happened now. When you say this, after that, forgive, cry, break down, cry, eat something, do something, and then forgive yourself. It's very, very important to forgive yourself for allowing them hurt you in that manner. And then look good, because when you look good, you feel good. Try to make yourself up. I know somebody's like, I'm broke, so I can't chill. So it's okay if you're broke and you can't go out and have fun, that is fine. But dress up and even take a walk in your neighborhood, no matter where you live. You could be living in a slum or in a nice residential area, but just dress up in your finest clothes. Stop keeping clothes for one fancy event that might never come. Wear your finest clothes and step out. Smell the air, look at the sun shining, like say hi, smile to people and come back. You will feel better after you do this, because broken hearts heal. It heals when you don't kill yourself or lose yourself. Even if you've lost yourself so far, well, it's not too late. Gather up and get up, no matter the number of years you've wasted with somebody. So long as you're alive today, that's what matters. Get your heart ready to be healed, okay? Number 6 on my lesson list is, when somebody show you who they are, believe them the first time. I believe you've probably heard this before. This quote is not from me. It is credited to the late Dr. Maya Angelou, and I think it was popularized by Oprah Winfrey, because she's the one who said it most of the time. I mean, starting from her show, the Oprah Winfrey Show. I noticed that for most people who've heard this quote, we quote it wrongly. Most people would say, when somebody show you who they are, believe them. But the correct quote is, when somebody show you who they are, believe them the first time. It didn't say just believe them. It said the first time, which is very important. The day I noticed that I have been using this quote wrongly, it changed a lot for me. Because I realized that I was going with if somebody shows you who they are, believe them. And believe them meant when they showed me the first time, I thought I'll give them a pass. It was probably a mistake, an oversight, and blah, blah, blah. So I'll give them another chance, and another chance, and another chance. And then I later look back and say, oh, maybe by the 10th time, I will now believe them. No. The quote says, when someone shows you who they are, believe them the first time. Not the second time. Not the 10th time. The first time. You know, for us ladies, don't forget, when you meet a guy, I mean, I have a lot of male friends who've confirmed this to me. When you meet a guy, when he says he likes you, that's when he's going to be in his best behavior. So if he's showing up late, coming up with excuses, not calling to check if you got home safe and all that, that is who he is. Don't wait to be setting after he's done it 3 times or 10 times. The first time he does it, that is the only time you should believe that is the kind of person he is. Don't excuse him. These are some of the mistakes I have made. I don't want you to go ahead and make that. This is what I had to say on number 6 today. My lessons on love and relationships so far. If you're out there and you're making some of these mistakes, so please don't do it. It won't change things. You are not more special than the next person or even me. The same thing will happen to you if you keep making these mistakes. Learn from these lessons. Take these things very seriously. I think this is one of the most profound thoughts I've had on relationship. And I chose to share it with you because I don't want you going about disappointed, heartbroken, and delaying your chances and opportunities of having a happily ever after. So just go ahead and build more fruitful relationships, ones that we can be sure of and bank on. Go ahead and have a lovely day. My name is Ama Blode. This is my vlog, Ama Says. Please be kind to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Amma Says. Like my Facebook page, Amma Says. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Amma_says. Oh, please engage me in the comment section. I promise I will engage you back. Invite friends and loved ones to also subscribe and send me messages. Like, I really love to hear from you. And hey, thank you if you've already subscribed. I love you from the bottom of my heart. I'm so thankful because you ginger me, you keep me going. Thank you.